Hey everyone, welcome back to Echo Your English. We're really happy you're here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Today's topic is something very real, very human, and honestly, very uncomfortable sometimes.
We're talking about those moments when you're in a conversation and suddenly you don't know what to say.
Your mind goes blank,
Completely blank.
and the silence starts feeling louder than the conversation itself.
Exactly. And this happens to everyone, not just English learners. But when you're speaking a second language, that feeling can be 10 times stronger.
Because on top of not knowing what to say, you're also thinking about grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, everything at once.
And then you start judging yourself. You think, I should say something smarter, or they're probably thinking I'm boring.
Or I'm bad at English.
Yes, that one comes up a lot.
But here's something important. Not knowing what to say doesn't mean you're bad at English. It usually means you're human.
I love that. And honestly, some of the most fluent speakers I know still have these moments.
Same here. I've had conversations where I just nod and smile for a second because my brain needs time to catch up.
And that pause is actually very natural. Conversations aren't performances, they're shared spaces.
That's such a good way to put it. A shared space, not a test.
But many learners treat every conversation like an exam they're about to fail.
Right, like there's a correct answer you have to give quickly,
And if you don't, you panic.
which makes it even harder to think.
Exactly. Panic shuts your brain down.
So maybe the first thing to say is this: silence is allowed.
Yes, silence is allowed. And more than that, silence is normal.
Sometimes silence just means you're thinking
Or listening.
or feeling.
And all of those are part of real communication.
I think one big problem is that people believe they must always add value to a conversation.
Like every sentence has to be interesting or impressive.
But conversations aren't TED Talks.
Thank goodness for that.
Honestly, most conversations are simple, ordinary, even boring at times.
And that's okay. That's where comfort comes from.
So let's talk about what you can do when you don't know what to say.
Yes, because you don't need a perfect sentence. You just need a small bridge.
A bridge, I like that.
Something simple that keeps the conversation moving, even slowly.
For example, you can acknowledge the moment instead of fighting it.
Like saying, let me think about that.
That's a great one, very natural. Native speakers use it all the time,
Or, that's a good question.
even if you don't have an answer yet.
Especially if you don't have an answer yet.
Exactly. It buys you time and it sounds thoughtful, not weak.
And it removes pressure. You're no longer rushing.
Another thing people forget is that conversations don't have to be deep all the time.
Yes, you can say something simple and honest.
Like, I'm not sure actually,
That sentence alone can be very freeing.
because it's true.
And truth sounds natural in any language.
I think learners often think they need complex sentences to sound fluent.
But fluency is more about comfort than complexity.
Comfort with pauses, comfort with not knowing.
Comfort with being imperfect.
And that takes practice, not grammar practice, life practice.
Exactly. Living in the language, not performing it.
There's also something interesting about listening here.
Oh, yes, listening changes everything.
When you don't know what to say, sometimes it's because you're too focused on yourself.
Your thoughts, your mistakes, your accent.
But if you shift your attention to the other person,
Suddenly, you have more to respond to.
you can react instead of inventing.
Even a small reaction is enough.
Like, oh really? Or that makes sense.
Or, yeah, I know what you mean.
These are powerful phrases.
Simple, but powerful.
They keep the conversation alive without forcing you to be clever,
And they sound very natural.
because they are natural.
So if you're listening right now and you often feel stuck in conversations,
We want you to know you're not broken.
you're not slow,
You're just human speaking another language.
and that's already impressive.
We'll keep exploring this feeling and how to handle it gently as we continue.
If this topic feels close to your heart, stay with us.
And remember, you don't have to rush your words.
Let them come when they're ready. So, Ryan, I want to talk a bit more about that moment right before the silence feels awkward.
Yes, that moment where your brain says we should say something, but nothing shows up.
Exactly. And I think many people misunderstand that moment. They think it means they've failed socially.
When really, it often just means the conversation needs a breath.
A breath. I love that word.
Conversations breathe just like people do. They expand, they pause, they slow down.
But learners often feel they must fill every second with sound,
Because silence feels risky.
especially in English when you're already unsure.
But here's something interesting. In many conversations, the other person is also thinking.
Yes, they might be wondering what to say next too.
Or they're waiting to see if you want to continue.
So silence isn't one-sided pressure, it's shared.
And once you realize that, it becomes less scary.
I remember when I first lived abroad, I felt this pressure constantly.
Really?
Yes, I thought I had to prove myself with every sentence.
That sounds exhausting.
It was, and it actually made my speaking worse.
Because you were tense.
Exactly. When you're tense, your mind closes.
That's such an important point. Relaxation helps fluency more than vocabulary lists.
Absolutely. And one thing that helped me was learning to use what I call soft responses.
Soft responses?
Yes, responses that don't push the conversation forward aggressively, but keep it gently alive.
I like that idea. Can you give an example?
Sure, things like, yeah, I see, that's interesting, or even just a small laugh.
Those little sounds that show you're present.
Exactly. You don't need full sentences all the time.
Native speakers do this constantly without thinking.
And learners think they're cheating if they do it.
But it's not cheating, it's communication.
And sometimes when you don't know what to say, the best thing is to ask something simple,
Yes, questions are lifesavers.
but not complicated questions.
Simple ones like, how about you? Or what do you think?
Or, can you tell me more?
That one is gold.
Because it shows interest, not weakness.
And it gives you time to listen instead of speak.
Listening is underrated in language learning.
Very. People focus so much on speaking that they forget conversations are two-way.
And good listeners are often seen as good speakers,
That's true. People enjoy talking to someone who listens well.
even if that person speaks less.
So if you're quiet by nature, that's not a disadvantage.
It can actually be your strength.
Especially if you stop judging yourself for it.
Judgment is the real problem.
Yes, the inner voice saying you should be better.
Or, say something now or you'll look stupid.
That voice is not helpful.
Not at all. And learning English becomes much easier when you soften that voice.
I think many learners imagine an ideal version of themselves.
Fluent, confident, fast speaking,
And then they compare their real self to that image.
which creates frustration,
But real fluency grows slowly, quietly.
with many pauses along the way.
Pauses that are not mistakes.
Just part of the journey.
So next time you don't know what to say,
Try not to panic.
take a breath.
Let the silence exist for a moment.
Use a soft response.
Or ask a gentle question.
And most importantly, be kind to yourself.
Because language grows best in kindness.
We'll keep talking about this because there's more to explore.
Especially how to practice this in real life without pressure.
Stay with us.
Just listen, relax, and let the English come to you. You know, Ryan, something else that makes these moments harder is the fear of being judged.
Yes, that feeling that the other person is evaluating every word you say,
Or noticing every pause.
or thinking, why are they so quiet?
But most of the time, that's not what's happening at all.
Exactly. People are usually thinking about themselves,
Or about what they want to say next.
or about something completely unrelated.
I once asked a friend if my pauses in conversation bothered her.
And
She said she never noticed them.
that's such a relief to hear.
It was. It made me realize how loud our fears are inside our own heads.
Louder than reality.
Much louder.
And for English learners, there is an extra layer.
The feeling that you're representing your English level all the time.
Like every conversation is proof of how good or bad you are.
But language doesn't work like that.
No one speaks perfectly all the time.
Even native speakers lose words.
Forget what they were saying,
Change direction mid-sentence.
or just stop and say, I forgot what I was going to say.
And nobody thinks that's strange.
Because it's normal.
So it's okay for you too.
I think another helpful shift is understanding that conversations don't need an end goal.
Yes, they don't need to arrive anywhere.
You're not required to be interesting
Or insightful.
or funny.
You're just there, sharing a moment.
And sometimes sharing silence is part of that.
There's something very human about comfortable silence,
But it takes time to feel comfortable with it.
especially in another language.
That's why practicing low-pressure conversations is so important.
Like talking to yourself,
Or listening to conversations like this one.
where there's no demand to respond quickly.
You can just notice how natural pauses sound.
How sentences don't always flow perfectly.
And how that's okay.
Another thing I want to mention is preparation.
Preparation?
Yes, not preparing full sentences, but preparing permission.
Permission?
Permission to be slow, to repeat yourself, to say, sorry, I'm thinking.
That's powerful.
When you give yourself permission, the fear loosens.
And when fear loosens, words come more easily.
Exactly. Pressure blocks expression.
So maybe the goal isn't to always know what to say.
But to feel okay when you don't.
That's such a gentle way to look at it.
And that gentleness is what helps English stick.
Not forcing, not rushing.
Just allowing.
If you're listening right now and you often feel stuck,
Try noticing how you speak in your own language.
you pause there too.
You hesitate.
You restart sentences.
You restart sentences.
And nobody notices.
English can be the same way for you.
Slowly, naturally.
One conversation at a time.
One pause at a time.
We're almost at the end of this episode.
And if this conversation made you feel a little less alone,
That means a lot to us.
this channel exists for moments exactly like this.
Where learning feels human, not stressful.
If you enjoy listening and you want to keep improving your English naturally, consider subscribing to Echo Your English.
We're here to practice together.
Quietly, calmly.
At your pace.
Thanks for spending this time with us.
And remember,
You don't always need the right words.
sometimes just being present is enough.
See you next time.
Take care.